Hello, welcome to another episode of Ola at Large, Olia Stories. Unplanned episode, because I had to talk about Eurovision and experiencing Eurovision as an Israeli here this year is definitely going to be interesting. For those of you who don't know, this is David, and you are back for another episode of Olia Stories. And this episode is all about Eurovision. It's not an episode that I was really thinking I was going to do, but with all the excitement around the Israeli participant, Eden, I just feel like I had to do something. In case you're new to the podcast, Ola is someone who is a new immigrant or an immigrant to Israel, and making Aliyah is the process of immigrant. So I am in the process. Next week, I should be having my final interview, so that's going to be exciting. But what's really exciting is Eden Golan getting into the finals of the Eurovision this year. So for those of you who don't know what Eurovision is a song contest that number of countries participate in. And just because it has Euro in the name doesn't mean you need to actually be European. You have to be a member of the European Broadcasting Union, which anyone can join. And there are a number of participants in Eurovision that are not in Europe. Georgia is one of them, Australia one of them, and Israel. Israel's actually been one of the more successful countries in Eurovision. Israel's won 4 times, and it's the third most successful country in the entire competition. This year, Eden Golan is the singer, and she's singing a song called "A Hurricane." Now, as part of the process to compete in Eurovision, you have to submit the song in advance, and the song was originally called "October Rain." And it had lyrics which were definitely evocative of the October 7th tragedy and massacre. And the political overtones were too much for the EBU. They don't want to have politics as part of the competition. It's meant to be a music competition. So they asked for the lyrics to be changed, which they were. There was a little humming and hawing, and the president of Israel, of all people, got involved and made sure that Israel was going to be a participant. What's been also sad is that Eden has had death threats. She's had to be under 24-hour surveillance. She can't leave her hotel room. She hasn't been able to participate in all the cool, fun things that all the other contestants have been able to participate in because of the security situation. But she has been true Israeli hero for being strong, and I know she's going to just kick butt tonight. So Eurovision is definitely definitely an acquired taste. As an American, before I moved to the UK, I really had not very much idea about Eurovision. And it was in my first spring, I was invited to a Eurovision party, and I had to have everything explained to me. And over the 10 years, and particularly over the past few years, I've gotten very aware of Eurovision and the ins and outs of who's competed in the past, who has done well, who has not. Particularly over the last 2 years, I've listened to a lot of Eurovision songs. And so I feel like I am, though new to all of it, I have some appreciation for Eurovision. It also tends to be very camp. It tends to be definitely a bit on the gay side. I've heard many people say Eurovision is the World Cup for gays, and I think that is probably true. So I've actually watched Eurovision in Israel a couple times, I watched the year Madonna performed when Tel Aviv actually hosted the Eurovision contest. And that was pretty incredible. When Netta won with I'm Not Your Toy. That was a pretty great song. I watched it last year. I happened to be in Tel Aviv for for Eurovision, and I went to a bar called Layla in Tel Aviv, which was pretty fun. And that's where I'm heading to tonight in about a half hour. Nice bar in Tel Aviv. It's a really nice bar in Tel Aviv. It's got outdoor seating. It's got inside seating, big screens. They serve food. It used to be a bar called Evita many years ago. So hopefully I'm heading out to go to Layla to watch the Eurovision finals. And what's been crazy about the past week or so in Sweden has been the thousands and thousands of protesters against Israel's participating in Eurovision. What's also been really sad is to see all sorts of boycotts of different clubs and different bars that refuse to show Eurovision because of Israel's inclusion, and it's sad because it really goes against a lot of the spirit of Eurovision in the first place to be mixing the politics in such a manner. But there it is. Past 48 hours has been a couple of different developments, which actually give Eden a fairly good chance of perhaps winning. One thing that's happened is Italy accidentally released the public tally of the votes in the semifinals, which happened 2 days ago, and it showed she got a whopping 47% of the vote, which is pretty incredible, and which just kind of goes to show that there's a whole bunch of folks out there that really aren't paying very much attention to all of the mishigas that is happening out in Malmo. And then another contestant was disqualified today, which I think may or may not actually help Eden. It was the Dutch competitor. And I have a feeling if you were going to vote for that guy, you're probably not going to switch your vote and go to Eden anyway. You're probably going to go to the Croatian artist. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see what happens. I encourage you, if you haven't listened to this before, the voting closes. Please go vote for her. Vote for Eden Golan, Hurricane. I think she's number 6 tonight, and we just wish her all the best. I don't really have an Israeli word for tonight. I'll use the word diva because that was the song, Diva International. That was the song, Diva International. That was the song that Donna International sang, Diva, to win Eurovision. And so while it is not really an Israeli word, it's certainly a word that has become part of Israeli culture and Israeli history. So have a great night wherever you enjoy Eurovision, and we'll see you on the next episode.